Okay, welcome back then. And we're talking about improved security arising from the promises of the new defense minister. And we just got to an area, it's an ongoing topic point. You've heard it before if you've ever listened to any radio or TV current affairs subject on security. This whole matter about, guys, you got to be very, very careful about how you go about analyzing this issue. These are our brothers. Yes, they might have gone wrong for a while, but even President Muhammadu Buhari, at one point, he was saying a zero tolerance. I don't know that we got very much out of General Buhari, as the Punch insists on calling him. So what I'm saying in there is that you can't tell President Buhari, you couldn't have told President Buhari anything about security by way of a lecture. In fact, a lot of us thought that, no, these are good times for us. We have an ex-military person, a general no less, who has been in charge of the country before. It didn't come to anything. It didn't come to anything. So this is why I'm concerned that, well, there seems to be a lot of work to be done because, like Nigeria and its football, everybody at home is an expert when it comes to who you should field, what the strategy should be. We know, we feel we know that which needs to be done. Tony, we're in a delicate situation, and I do hope that the duo of Messrs. Badaru and Matawale have got their ducks in a row, because Nigeria is going to be expecting a lot from them. The president said it for us. The president said it, I think it was yesterday, the day before yesterday, that not just him, but Nigerians are expecting a lot from all of those ministers. So there's very little room for messing up, sorry to use such a terminology.
One of the reasons why terrorism is still sustained till today is the statement you made earlier, that they are our brothers. Mm-hmm. And because they are our brothers, we can't come all out. Yes, agree that they are our brothers. Out of them, we've had those that you call repentant terrorists. Now, what happened to the rest? Let us assume. And out of those we call repentant terrorists, we've also had stories of some of them now becoming informants to the terrorists. Some of them also now becoming supply chain to the terrorists and all those stuff like that. Some of them even going to the larger society to now become criminals. Now, so these are issues that are, some will say sensitive. Some of us don't see it as sensitive. It's a matter of a political will. Because if you ask me, I kept asking that question, what does Boko Haram want? Nobody has been able to tell me that this is what they said, apart from the fact that Western education is a crime or is a sin. Now, it is we, you and I, that have been profiling answers to that question. We ask the question and we also provide the answers. You understand? No, that means that they have left up open-ended without any clue of what they want and what they are prosecuting. So if we have brothers at home that are not telling us their grievances, yet they are killing, maiming, destroying, the fabrics of what we live for goodness sake, I don't think it's an issue we treat with kids' glove and all those stuff like that.
But then we're also having influential clerics, clerics speaking on their behalf.
That is where I'm coming, sir. You see, in every terrorist, I've said it severally, that you have sleeper cell. The way terrorism work is bigger than even what we can talk about on this studio. It's not terrorists, they are more organized, even from recruitment level. Remember, there was a time that President Jonathan said that Boko Haram are filtrated into his own government, not because they are the people that are sitting there are wearing the regalia of Boko Haram and the like, but they were sleeper cells. Who are sleeper cells? People that are sympathetic to the cause of terrorism. They are sympathetic to the cause of terrorism, and they are taking effort to ensure that their cause, you understand, is sustained in whatever. They could be in the National Assembly, they could be in the military, they could be in the police. However, they could even be kings or governors, believing in that philosophy and in that school of thought of that terrorist act, and they are also funding it. They are also encouraging it. They are also giving logistics supply. They are giving intelligence. That is why you will see a situation where military will be going for operation and they will be ambushed.
Yes.
Ambushment is a product of failed intelligence. Ambushment does not happen just like that. It means that an insider had done what? Had devoid the information about the itinerary of that operation as at that point in time. So it means that right inside that military formation, there are moles. That is the implication. Where you see government saying that we want to have a policy, and the policy is that Sambisa Forest should be turned into, wipe everything off. Swept clean. And somebody will come at the National Assembly and say, no, it should not be like that. Now you should ask the question, why are you so particular about defending people that are killing fellow Nigerians, that are destroying fellow Nigerians? Now when you now see government succeeding in certain area, and some people run to international, what do you call it, international organization, Amnesty International, start to shout all around, they are killing us, they are killing us. But meanwhile, when the terrorists are busy destroying communities, destroying villages, killing people, Amnesty International is not going to say anything. It's not going to talk about abuse of human rights and all those stuff like that. But when the military begin to do what they are trained to do, then you now see human rights coming into it. That tells you how organized the art of terrorism is.
But government doesn't have to listen to them. But before you might have something to say about that. Government doesn't listen to them in any case. That's the sense that I get.
No, you see, government will listen at times, and I will tell you why at times. You see, when...
I don't want to delay. I beg your pardon, sir. There's someone on the phone. Good morning, Mr. George.
Morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you for calling in.
Greetings to Tony.
Yes.
Good morning, sir.
Uncle Yori, with due respect to the Minister of Defense, I want to say that the time line he gave of 1 year is too long. We can't remain like this for another 1 year. Security agents, the security agencies, they know the enclaves of these bandits and kidnappers. They even know their names. And they have their photographs. So why should it take them 1 year to reach them? I'm not convinced that insecurity as it is now will take a whole year to address. Now, we have Tucanos. They are in the forest. They know where they are.
Yes.
And they can reach them. Why are we not using this equipment that we use a lot of money to buy? Even if those who sold the equipment to us said it's only for wars. What we have at hand now is worse than war. A group that can crush 36 military men and get rid of them with the type of equipment they are using. Is that not a war?
Exactly. You don't see that?
And then you are saying that they are our brothers. Brothers that are killing their brothers in multiple numbers. I don't want brothers.
I get the point. Thank you very much for calling in, George. Maybe putting that commentary on top of what we're talking about, because this is the, dare I say, simplistic attitude that, quote unquote, bloody civilians have about the whole issue. That, what are you talking about? Can you hear yourself? Did you just say people who are giving us this kind of a headache are our brothers, and therefore we can't bring the full force at our disposal to them? But it is a fact that we are contending with.
Yes, Uncle Yori. And he mentioned about the Tucano jets. And before he's coming in, I was talking about them. You see, there are a lot of variables that are considered when it comes to war against terrorism. And these are some of the things that I think the minister should be thinking about and battling with. The international, angle to it. Because look at Tucano jets. For me, Nigeria bought nothing. Absolutely nothing.
How is that?
For a lot of money. Now, why I said so is this. You are buying a technology. You are buying a jet, full of technology with terms and conditions as to how to and when to and who to operate it against from the supplier. When you purchase, look, if I purchase my phone, I should have absolute access to everything that I've paid you. Once I've paid you, you don't need. But look at it. The software to launch, I'm not sure it's given to them. And if it's given to them, the terms and conditions are so strict, they cannot use it when they ought to use it. Is that the meaning of purchase?
Now, is that a fact? Is that a fact, Tony? Because, as you said, that would then legitimize what you just said, that as far as I'm concerned, they bought nothing.
They bought nothing. I'm not apologetic about it. If the military believe they bought some, look,
that they can't
a lot
deploy,
of military are dying every now and then. Our trained soldiers.
And here you
the government has spent a lot of money, refined officers, because we have some most, when they have been trained, they are capable of doing anything. And they are capable. Who are these insurgents you talk about?
And
who are they?
We have equipment that you know for a fact they are not able to deploy anyhow they want, with the full potentiality being available to them.
So at the end of the day, what are we talking about? That's why I said, if the military, look, we have APC for example. Nobody is talking about whether we can use it or we cannot use it. We use it whenever we want to.
Oh, I was stumped for a moment.
No, I'm on personnel carrier. Yes, I'm on personnel carrier, not the political, not the political party. Now, there are a lot of equipment that the military uses, at their own disposal. But when it comes to this Tucano jet, why is it that the terms and conditions are so strict that they cannot use it when they ought to use it? Can the military convince us that they have the software to launch it when they want to launch it? Have they used it, even tested it for once?
I would just say to you, Tony, that what you've just said is news to me. I didn't know what you've just shared.
Let them tell us. That's the issue.
I didn't know that it's possible to buy a Tucano, for example, and all of its prowess. Somebody is now holding all of that and saying that, subject to our terms of contract.
Most of the technologies now, most of the sophisticated technologies now, that is how it's done.
I see.
Yes, that's how it's done. They licensed it. Even some of the technology you use in your office, they will expect you to be paying royalty every month or every year.
But even if that were the case, we won't have a problem paying. But Stephen in Abuja, good morning to you, sir. Sorry for keeping you waiting for a bit. Go right ahead now, please.
Yes, good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, I want to commend your guest, Dr. Fayeto, for his analysis that he's been making in regards to the security situations and the assignment of portfolios.
Okay.
The DG of IIPS happens to be a lawyer. I just want to ask him a question. When he was talking about Badaru being given the portfolio as defense minister, I want to ask Dr. Fayeto on that. As a security professional, can I function if I'm giving the Ministry of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation? Of course, I cannot function well because I don't have the professionalism to function as Attorney General and Minister of Justice. So it's applicable to Badaru that happens to be an accountant. We have a Minister of State deputizing Badaru that is a mechanical engineer. He mentioned Ribadu. When Ribadu's father was Minister of Defense, the hostility, the rate of crime and criminality that we have in Nigeria at the moment was not the way it was then. So, Kwankwaso was also Minister of Defense, yes. But can you compare the rate of criminality and hostility that we have now? He mentioned 36 soldiers were killed by some group of bandits or criminal elements. So we are looking at a situation now. The situation now is that somebody that is a professional, it could be a retired general or a retired police officer, or even a civilian like him that has security knowledge that can function in such ministry. We shouldn't make it an all-political affair. Any input that Badaru needs to make in terms of handling insecurity in this country, it should be professionally done.
Yeah, but Stephen, we're not in an advisory, this conversation is not in an advisory capacity anymore. The deed has been done. We have them. Yeah. We have Badaru, we have Matawale, and we're talking about maybe something that you have also sort of hinted at. We're talking about the fact that the business of the minister is all about the vision. Of course, he's also working with whatever the roadmap of the president is that he's set them off with. And they say that anybody with intelligence and the, what is it? The whole infrastructure of having these technocrats and these experts, the permanent secretary I hear is going to be key to all of this. You got all of that. People are saying that we're still good.
So why won't you now apply this analysis that you have given?
Why won't we apply it?
Why won't we apply it to the ministries such as Ministry of Health, Ministry of Justice and Attorney General, Ministry of Finance?
I get you. Touche. Touche, Stephen. I get you. Thank you very much for calling in. Say, okay.
I'm sure you don't have answer to that.
That's why that's touche.
I'm sure you don't have
No, that's the touche part.
You know, and you remember I also said it, that normally we would expect that it should be square pegs.
Although it has been done. We've had ministers of health who have not been doctors.
Normally it would have, because the challenge the honorable ministers will have is this. For example, talking about operational strategies, you know, it's either you are leaving it wholly to them, to whatever strategy they adopt, it's okay by you. Because for you to vet their strategy, you must understand what military operation strategy is all about.
Yes.
You understand,
yes,
sir?
But that's why you have advisors.
That's why you have advisors. Anyway, but
if you're a civilian.
If you're a civilian, you know. So for me, like I said, they are just going to do administrative work and also ensure that whatever that is being done there key into the mission and vision of Mr. President. So like you said, the deed has been done. We can only but advise them. And that was why I said that since they are there and they are not core professionals, what do? They must have humility. They must be humble enough to listen to those that are technocrats there. But they must depend and believe on their skill, technical skill, and which must be devoid of their own understanding, parochial understanding of security. And I use that word, parochial understanding of security. You are talking of national security. It's no longer the state security you operated in your state and you were not having power.
But sir, I hear what you're saying. But okay, let's go to the most powerful nation in the world according to all the writing. Talking about the U.S. The president is the commander-in-chief of the whole military waiting call apparatus there. The man he's concerned himself with law in Harvard. Apart from politics, he probably has expertise in that as well. But then again, you could see when, for example, when they wanted to take out, what's that guy? The popular worldwide guy.
Osama bin Laden.
Oh, Osama bin Laden. He was in the war room. He was in the command situation room, surrounded by all his people. So what I'm saying is that it's, you know, with apologies to Stephen, so far you have all the experts around you.
I know where you are going. But the commander-in-chief has power to hire and fire. The minister does not have power to hire and fire.
And so the president has hired them.
The president,
because he knows they can do it.
The president has hired the minister. The president can fire the minister. But who can the minister hire and fire if they are not doing what they ought to do?